Well, hello and welcome back. Now, if you've been following along, we've been doing a series of webinars about various aspects of Draft Digital and Books to Read. And some of you didn't even realize that Books to Read and Draft Digital were the same company. So,
Sister
surprise,
sites.
sister sites. And we have also all those features. They're all right now. They're all aimed at the author. We've got some plans to start incorporating some stuff aimed at the reader, but all the author facing stuff is what we're going over now. And one thing in particular, actually, this feature is reader facing largely, but we're going to
Mm.
talk about books to reads reading lists or drafted digital reading lists, however you prefer
Well, they're on
them.
the Books to Read site, so I think it's easier to say Books to Read
Books
reading
to read
lists.
reading lists. These are a special thing. I mean, a very special tool. They're built on the Universal Book Link, which we've discussed in a previous webinar,
Our
and
backbone.
our backbone, the central nervous system, if you will, of all things books to read. So, Lissa, you're going to walk us through this, and thank you because I didn't want to have to do this by myself.
Well, I know reading lists are one of our newer Books to Read features, so I feel like not even the drafted digital people knows reading lists as well as
I know there's certain
some of our
features
other
I'm
features.
constantly surprised. And you know, Kara, my wife Kara, works for us as our promotions manager, and she um, works a lot with reading lists as
Mhm.
part of the drafted digital promotions. So some of you out there may have already experienced these. Well, let's take a look. So I'm going to go ahead and open up your screen, Alyssa.
Okay, so
And
right here I have us at the homepage of Books to Read, and you can tell that I'm logged in because this top bar is blue. Um, so if you want to get to reading lists, it is sort of separate from everything else. You have to go to Link Tools and Reading Lists. You can't actually get there from the dashboard. So if you are going to your reading list for the first time, Kevin, you would probably see two reading lists on there because we have some pre-seeded reading lists just so people can see what it's about and play with it without much consequence.
yeah,
But most people hate that and delete them, and I'm one of those people. I went in and deleted those pre-made reading lists and made my own. So these are two reading lists that I've made. Um, and if you wanted to preview them like a reader would see it, you roll over. This is the banner image, which you'll see when I make one, which I'm about to make one. I'm so prepared today.
yes,
Um, and if you are wanting to edit it, you could click on the title or you could click this edit button right here. It's, it's exactly what's on the tin. We're not trying to be fancy. We're just trying to make it work for
right.
everybody. Um, we also let you deactivate reading lists without deleting them. So that's what this toggle is about. You can show your inactive reading lists, but I don't have any inactive reading lists right now.
How
So
would you make it inactive?
changes. Well, let's go make one.
All right, let's make one.
Uh, so make a new reading list. Again, we're not trying to hide it. um, so all reading lists start off as private,
Okay.
which you change in this panel down here, but we'll get there. So the first thing you need to do is name it. So I prepared books my 10-year-old likes.
Okay.
You don't have to add a tagline, it just adds more information. The first section is to choose your header image, and we have some default images that are sort of optimized for the space. They are, they're pretty generic. I think one of the cool things that we do is allowing you to add a color overlay.
Nice.
Which, let's see, his favorite color is blue, so let's go with blue. And that just helps your words stand out. We require a reading list name because it helps with SEO and stuff.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to have one. If you wanted to put your own image in there, you can click to open or drag and drop. And I have prepared an image because I'm so prepared today. So I'm going to drag and drop. And it's these little hearts because he
Oh,
loves those
nice.
books. The second section in this, we call this the accordion. We use
Okay.
this sort of thing on the UBL page too. When you're adding UBLs, there's the ebook section and the audiobook section. I could not remember that word for half a second. Print section. All of those will collapse and expand. That's the same thing that's going on here.
Okay.
So let's see. Today, all of the books I have prepared are fiction. They're probably middle grade. I know I have some fantasy and some graphic novels. You just type it in. You can hit the plus or you can hit enter. Right now, these search terms are for future planning. As we start to open up to readers, we're hoping to make these reading lists more searchable.
Yeah.
So right now it doesn't do too much, but the future.
It's always good practice to put in relevant keywords. That's always a good idea, no matter what it is you're doing.
The next accordion section is BISAC classifications. This will look very familiar for anyone who has been a part of Draft to Digital and has added an ebook through Draft to Digital. Exact same BISACs and the exact same search function. So I can type, I think, if I can spell.
This is how you know
There's no
it's
middle grade.
recorded live.
There's no middle grade? Is it young? Young adult fiction?
Okay.
I swear there was a middle grade. Let's say fantasy general. I also know there were graphic novels. Oh, juvenile fiction.
There you go.
Let's just say general. Again, we don't yet do anything with the BISAC. This is just future proofing for helping people find this stuff later. The next accordion section is advanced options. This says it's optional. We had a request for, I believe it was Kobo. Someone was running an account-wide discount for
Right.
all of their books, but it was only discounted on Kobo, so they wanted to make a reading list and force redirect everyone to Kobo. So we added in that functionality because we appreciate our beta testers and wanted to accommodate. But I have a feeling that most people won't want to force redirect all their UBLs to one store. That was just a
Right.
special circumstance.
And to be clear, if you don't do a force redirect, it's just like a
You're
standard universal
right,
book link. It'll send them to whatever storefront
as
they
usual.
choose. Yeah.
The thing that you really want to pay attention to is making this reading list public, because if you remember, all reading lists are private to start
Right.
out. That's just to make it so you don't accidentally put something live that you didn't want live. The next accordion section is custom naming your URL. We love custom naming stuff on
Yeah.
Books to Read. So I'm going to say 10-year-old.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's available.
All right. Now you've just stolen it from anyone else who might want to use it.
And like we talked about before, this is where you would deactivate. So if I deactivated this reading list, I'm going to save it. first just because I'm paranoid, and
Mhm.
deactivate it. And then we go back to our reading list dashboard. If we're hiding our inactive, it's inactive. We're showing all of them. This is the heart banner that we loaded. So this is books my 10-year-old likes.
Oh, it doesn't do the color treatment on it.
No, not on the preview.
Hmm.
So I'm going to reactivate this and go back to editing. This over here, this is just a rough estimation to show you what the header image might look like. These carousel names, none of that is filled out because we haven't actually added any book carousels to our reading list. So the next thing that you need to do is, of course, adding books, which is this button right here. So the last time we talked about author pages, and in author pages, custom carousels were a thing, if you remember.
Yeah.
Custom carousels are a thing here as well. I think this would be impossible if we didn't. So let's see. I have graphic novels, which we mentioned. You can type in description here. And click to add books. You can search for your book tabs, which I have written down right here. Pilu of the Woods, which is this one. Add selected. It's now in this carousel.
Nice.
I have a couple more to add. Girl from, except I just misspelled it.
Yeah.
Girl from C and Amulet. Is that not how you spell amulet?
That should be.
Well, let's go add it.
That's, there you go. We'll get to show
So,
off a secondary feature.
adding, if you can't find it, I guess I maybe forgot to add this one. I wasn't as prepared as I thought it was going to be. If you notice, it opened up in a new tab.
Yeah.
It brings you to, yeah, it's not here. Paste the link to your book. So let me go find the Amulet ebook version. That's the hardest part. All right, so we've got it locked in. Amulet. Let's clear that search. And it didn't work, did it? Let's save
Okay.
and see. What's going on? Usually it's so fast. What's it doing? You're gonna have to edit this part out, aren't you?
Oh no.
It's not showing up. Dude, what's going on? Rude. Does this not look like it's working?
It still says checking the user provided
Yeah, but
link.
the other one looked like it was locked in. I'm just totally weirded out. I hope they're not running a deployment. Yeah. Ta-da. Ta-da.
Nice. Okay.
But it looked that locked in last time. Oh, the Stone Keeper. Oh, that's weird. It's called the Stone Keeper. Look
With
at
the cover
this.
amulet.
The
Yeah.
actual title is Stone Keeper Amulet Number 1.
Okay.
Is it the kids who are wrong? No, it's me. I always thought it was amulet. Okay. That's the biggest word on there. Oh, look, I've added it 3 times. Goodness. Okay. So that's all the graphic novels I had. I'm going to add a new carousel now.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to save first because I'm paranoid. And if you notice it pops up, we call that a toast.
Yes. Now, what happens if you only had one book in a carousel?
If I only have one book in a carousel,
Very appropriate.
do I not have any Tolkien books on here? Okay,
Well,
I'll just
maybe.
actually go from my list.
There you go.
All right, let's save. And let's look at the reader view. It actually does a hero version of
Nice.
the book. Yeah. I'm going to go back to editing. I'm going to fill this out just a little bit more.
Okay.
I guess another thing to point out is let's see. I can't talk and do things at once, I guess.
Classics.
Yeah, award winners.
Yeah.
Can't type to save my life. One thing to note is that you can actually have as many copies of each book as you want. So Matilda and Grimm have both been adapted for TV or movie.
Okay.
You can rearrange the order of your carousels, just like we were able to rearrange on the author profile page. And yeah, if you save and continue, it gives you the link to your reading list, which I set mine to a custom name of 10-year-old. And we have
Yep.
some share buttons for convenience, like to Facebook or Twitter. And that's pretty much reading lists right there. Let's see this one that I filled out more.
Oh, see, that's cool with the hero book, and you get a paragraph there, and you can
Yeah.
put URLs and things in these descriptions, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's test it.
Yeah. I see the little URL option.
Yep.
Oh, including email. Wow, I didn't know we added all that.
And I
This is why
guess.
we do this, so that I know what we're doing, what we have.
Please work.
Why wouldn't it work?
I don't know.
Is there a space in your URL up there between Google and com?
There's a period, but
Oh, okay.
it would give an error if it wasn't working. Please type in a URL. Yeah,
All
maybe
right.
email address is not working. This is not working.
Okay.
Bummer. What do we do about that?
I feel like we should fix it.
Yeah.
Do we want to try re-recording this when we've fixed some of the things? I hate doing that, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I feel
I
like
can
we're like
edit around a lot of
90%
this.
of the way there.
I feel like it too. I could probably edit right out before I say, you can add URLs to this, right? But we definitely need to get that fixed because that's a thing.
Right. I'll write this down.
All right. So we'll roll in with a heartfelt goodbye.
Okay.
You ready? Okay.
Uh,
All that looks very cool. I think that there's a lot of ways you can use this. I mean, I have used my reading list in a variety of ways. You do not have to be a D2D author in order to use this feature. We should put that out there.
right.
I always recommend this to people who have like podcasts, blogs, YouTube channels, things like that, because you can actually create reading lists. For example, I have a reading list that is all the guests for the Word Slinger podcast. So if they've had a book, I have a reading list with that book on it. I've got it broken down by categories. I've got one called Thriller Cart, which is me and anyone else that I like as a thriller author. I put all our books on that reading list, and I've got that one broken down by categories like there's an Atlantis theme, and there's a Mayan tomb theme, and things like that. So there's all kinds of ways to play around with this. I love the hero book because I can feature a book on that page just like that. That's a very cool sort of bonus that we get. So yeah, the limit to this is really just your imagination. So it's something to dive into. And if you are a podcast host or a blogger or YouTuber, or just maybe you just have like a readers group or something, this is a great way to keep that kind of stuff available and make a little extra. It's a little bit of an extra kick if you use your affiliate codes on your UBLs. So anything else you want to throw in there, Alyssa?
I don't think so. We're going to continue to improve on reading lists, and hopefully we'll get more reader-facing interactions as a whole on Books to Read. So yeah, those are the things we're working towards.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up for this webinar. And of course, if you're watching, I hope you've been asking questions in the comments because I always forget to tell you to do that at the beginning of the thing. But if you are currently there and you still have a question, we've got people monitoring, spying, if you will, watching your every move and waiting for you to ask questions right in the comments. Or you can always email us at support@draftdigital.com and we'll answer any questions you have. Make sure that you are, well, see, I already did that one. Make sure that you are following us. That is to start your career. You can go to draftdigital.com, but make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/draftdigital, facebook.com/draftdigital, TikTok/draftdigital, whatever it is, /draftdigital, you'll probably find us there. And in fact, I did make up a TikTok one. If you go to D2D.tips/TikTok, that'll actually take you to where you can see live content coming up. So go check that out, and make sure you bookmark d2dlive.com, where we do a countdown to these live broadcasts all the time. So I think that's it. We've got like this whole list of URLs that I have to go through now. So
Yeah.
but I
Got
think
our
that's going to do
fingers
it.
in all different places.
Exactly. We're all over the place. That's the point. So, and we're there for you. That's the point, dear author. But Alyssa, thank you for walking us through this and showing us how these things work. And I think that's going to wrap us up. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.